Hi everyone, welcome back to my sewing journal. So I had this goal of posting twice a month. Let's just say that did not happen. Well, obviously that did not happen. Life happened. For a while now, I have not been feeling like myself or happy. It's not that I've stopped sewing. Actually, I have been sewing loads. I have just not been posting about it. Since it's the beginning of a new month, I am trying to be more positive. I am reminding myself that you don't need to be completely happy or inspired to do what you love. You just keep showing up for it. So here I am again, showing you my latest makes. With that said, I guess that will be my sewing, if not life tip for this week. Don't wait for happiness to come. Maybe we can generate our own kind of happiness, even in small ways. Make clothes that make you happy. Make clothes that make you smile when you wear them. Wear your favorite outfit whenever you feel like it. Whenever you feel like you need a little boost in your step. Don't wait for the special occasion. I'm saying this not to be preachy, but I am saying it out loud just as a reminder for myself too that life isn't always perfect. It never is. We just have to roll with the punches, and it helps when you're wearing your favorite outfit. I guess my latest make reflects my mental state. I feel like I needed to make something that was fun and would be fun to wear. So I guess that's why I made this co-ord using the Simplicity pattern um, 9610. So this pattern has been on my make list for a while now, but I was waiting for a sale, of course, before I buy the pattern. Recently, Hobbycraft had a sale on, so I took the chance to get this pattern. This sewing pattern is good value for money. It includes two types of shirt patterns as well as shorts and trousers. The first shirt option is a relaxed shirt with a back yoke. The second is a crop shirt with open back, drop shoulders, and elbow length sleeves. You also get a pattern for this straight leg crop trousers and shorts, both with patch pocket details. On the Simplicity website, this is classified as easy, which I don't agree with. I think shirt patterns with collars should be classified as intermediate or advanced beginner level. It might just be me, but I think inserting zippers is also not an easy task. That's why I'm only tackling this pattern now. I'd like to have more experience with easier patterns under my belt first. Out of the four options, I made the crop shirt and the trousers. For this project, I used this pale blue and cream denim fabric. This is a medium weight fabric with a little bit of stretch. It cost £9 a meter and I used 3 meters in total. I bought this fabric online from a family run shop. They solely focus on ethically sourced dead stock fabrics. This denim has a slight stretch, which I thought will be a problem, but it was actually okay. You can also use chambray, cottons, linens, and poplins with the Simplicity 9610 sewing pattern. I didn't realize until I received my pattern that the trousers is shown in a checkerboard pattern. That made me more confident in my decision to use this checkerboard pattern with this sewing pattern. I wonder how many times I will say the word pattern in this video. To not count. While we're on the subject, I thought I'd found out about the history of the checkerboard pattern. It's one of those instantly recognizable and enduring patterns. Some brands immediately come to mind when I think of this pattern. I think of the Louis Vuitton damier pattern, the black and white classic Vans, and of course, the checkered flag at the end of Formula One races. It's amazing to learn that this pattern dates back to the early 3000 BCE in Mesopotamia and Egypt. Early versions appeared in art, pottery, and architecture. The pattern became strongly associated with chessboards and checkerboards in medieval Europe around the 10th to the 12th century. The alternating light and dark squares help players distinguish pieces more clearly. In textiles, the early weaving techniques may have contributed to the pattern's development, as the alternating threads of looms naturally created a grid like structure. The word checker itself comes from the Old French échutier, which also gave rise to the word exchequer, a British government office named after a cloth with a checkerboard pattern used for accounting calculations. By the 1600s, writers began using checkered metaphorically to mean varied in character or fortune. The expression checkered past comes directly from the visual idea of a checkerboard. I think this is a good place to stop talking about this as I might accidentally reveal my checkered past. One of the adjustments I made to this top was to shorten the bodice by about an inch. It is supposed to be a crop shirt, but it would have ended up being a standard length top if I hadn't shortened it. I wasn't sure about the drop shoulder, but I thought I'd leave it. I did shorten the sleeves by about 2 inches though. I was really pleased with how it was shaping up at this point. However, I thought it needed something extra, so I ordered a couple of different trimmings online. I thought of using rickrack trimmings because the wavy edges would contrast nicely with the squares of the checkerboard. Luckily, one of the two blue rickracks I ordered was the right shade of blue. I added the rickracks to the sleeves and the cutout yoke at the back. I hand stitched the rickrack in place before using the sewing machine to make sure it didn't move. For the trousers, it needed a lot of adjustments. Since I'm short, I knew I would need to shorten the legs. However, I did not expect them to be loose fitting. The design is supposed to be slim fit. I cut the right size according to the size guide, but they turned out to be quite loose. After thinking about it, I decided to leave it as it is. The fit was actually comfortable, and I don't mind that it isn't cropped. I just needed to take a couple of inches off the waist to get the fit right. To match the shirt, I added a rickrack around the pockets. I did have to unpick the waistband though. As you can see here, I had already attached the waistband when I realized that I still had some rickrack left, so I decided to use it all. Aside from adding the trims, I also thought this outfit needed a little wink of color. So I bought this little rosy cheeks sewing labels. I thought the cherry would be literally the cherry on top of this outfit. There's two designs in this pack of 6 sewing labels. Rather than use the sewing label on the inside of the garment, I used it on the outside. As I said, I wanted a small hint of bright color somewhere on the garment. Plus, it's too cute to hide. I like all these tiny red details since red is actually my favorite color. Lastly, I use these cream flower shaped buttons. They are slightly small, but I didn't want to buy new ones. I also think the shape echoes the waves of the rickrack trimmings. And here it is, the finished set. I'm happy with how it turned out. I'm especially happy with the pockets. I don't mind the difference in fit between the sewing pattern and the actual garment. The trousers can be made smaller, but I'm loving the relaxed fit. They seem perfect for traveling. I love plain white or cream t shirts and tops, but I'm not fond of pastel colored clothes. So I'm surprised that I'm loving these pastel trousers. As per usual, please indulge me and take a look at my seams. Instead of just using a zigzag stitch to finish the raw edges, I use bias binding to cover them so that it looks neater. Although it is not obvious since I did not use thicker thread in a contrasting color, I also created flat-filled seams on the side of the trousers. I like that the inside of the garment is as neat as the outside. So for next time, I hope to be sharing two more versions of the Alexia dress. I know. I've made it, I think, 5 times already, but I really like the pattern. I think it's a pattern that suits me. I can still see more versions of that pattern in my head. So I just have to make it. The other thing that I hope I get round to making is a sweatshirt or a hoodie using this patch that I bought last year in Amsterdam. I don't have a sewing pattern for a hoodie. I will just trace an old hoodie of mine and hope for the best. Isn't she so cute? I like that it says good vibes. I'm also finishing this 70s inspired wrap dress. Technically, it's finished, but I have to redo the hem because for some reason it's not level. So that's it for today's journal. I hope that you can find something that brings you joy. And I also hope that maybe you can share that joy to others too. So please take care. Until next time, happy sewing. Bye.